found R.K. Narayan. It was an
Yeah,
Indian
it's coming
lady
now.
here from the Times of India, a very distinguished critic, who said to me, "Forget the sacred cows. Read R.K. Narayan."
Yes. So what did you think after reading?
He's one of my heroes. One of the best short storyteller writers that ever lived. Malgodi Days is my favorite. I think he's a very special short storyteller. I put him in the class of O. Henry, Maupassant, Scott Fitzgerald. He is one of the truly greats. And he's been my insight into India. It's been very special indeed for me because I feel I know India because of this man.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I tried to share a video, an interview video given by Jeffrey Archer, about whom I'm going to do my presentation. So I don't know if it was visible for everyone and audible. Was it
Yeah,
visible
it
and
was very
audible?
clear. Yeah, it was
Okay.
very clear.
Yeah. So that was Jeffrey Archer, my friends. He has been my like the best writer for me. I've been hugely inspired by his style of writing, and I always advise my students to read his books. And one of his best masterpieces is um, Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less. And he has written many anthologies, many novels. Some are little political, some are based on um, all are fictional, but from different perspective. He's a wonderful storyteller. So today I'm going to share with you um, Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less. One second, let me just get the slides here. Yeah. Are my slides visible?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Archer is a multifaceted personality. He's a politician, he's a cricketer, he's a writer, and he's also a white collar criminal. Yes, he's a white collar criminal. He has committed some crimes, he has had a prison term, and during that prison term, also, he has written the prison diaries, the prisoner's diaries, I think. Yeah, it is a collection of short stories. His interaction with the people and the prison, with various prisoners, and their tales, their stories he has written. They are extremely funny, amazing, interesting, and totally gripping. And his style of writing, that is what captivates us. And he has been writing for decades now. So let me go to the basic plot I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to make you inquisitive about this writer and especially this novel, so that one day maybe you can pick up this book and really read and enjoy as much as I enjoy it. I'll be sharing the PDF, the soft copy of this book in our groups. It's actually very interesting because it's sort of, he wrote it long time back, but it has some sort of inspiration for me, and also for some other people. Anyone knows Harshad Mehta? Do you recall Harshad Mehta, the famous Harshad Mehta?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
On for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
scam.
yeah, scam. So, was Harshad Mehta inspired by Harry Metcalf, or Harry Metcalf character was inspired by people like Harshad Mehta? It could have worked either way. So, anyway, so what we recall about Harshad Mehta is he floats. He has supposed to have floated some companies, fake companies, and open some shares and put it in the stock market, and people buy those shares, and some people made a fortune out of it. And when they realize such companies don't exist, many people lost their money. I think that is a sum and total of that scam, right? So here we have this character, Harry Metcalf. He also swindles people's money, primarily on a lot of money, like say $1 million pounds from four people. Okay, so the he has actually he has found some oil. Uh, Somewhere in the poles, he has founded some company which is taking oil from the Arctic Ocean. So that is the company he has supposed to have floated, and he has come up with, he has come up with the shares for those company, and we find four of our main characters investing in that company. One is our mathematician. He's an Oxford scholar. He's totally, into calculations and numbers. And then we have a antique art dealer, a French antique art dealer, and a doctor who is basically a plastic surgeon for the rich and famous people. And then it's not here; it's written actress. It's not an actress. It's actually I'm sorry. I somehow there's a mistake here. It's not an actress. It's actually a landlord, a poor landlord. All these characters are in England, okay, in British Isles. And when they realize, the mathematician is the first one who realizes that they have been scammed by this crook person, Harry Metcalf. And he decides that he wants his hard earned £25,000 back. And he sees that he can't do this alone. So he figures out that there are other people who have been swindled, and they make a plan that they should get poetic justice now. And he calls all these three other men. The one is an art dealer, and the other one is, as I said, a doctor, a plastic surgeon, and uh, um, landlord, a square, sort of a knight. And all these people, they come together, they make a plan how we are going to get back our money. So the way the writer, Jeffrey Archer, he writes this story, how they communicate, how they hit a plan, and how they get back all that which they had lost to this Harry Metcalf. That is the most interesting thing. Have you watched the movie Khosla Ka Ghosla? Anyone heard of that movie?
Yes, very interesting movie. Very.
Yeah. So in that movie, no, only one segment of the story has been shown. There are four segments to the story, actually. One is how the mathematician does his thing. Then you have the art dealer. Then you have the doctor, and then the final one, which is the climax and the suspense and the twist in the tale. So each of our protagonists, no, they come up with a plan. The mathematician, he does something so that Harry Metcalf returns his money. And then the art dealer, like we can guess, the art dealer sells him something which is not that valuable, and he gets back his money. And the doctor does a surgery which is actually not required, and he gets back his money. The final person, the poverty stricken square, the landlord, he does something that is the most interesting thing, and he also does something, and they all the four get back the money. So the structure of the novel, it's very simple, very easy to follow, but it is also moves in zigzag zoom. It's like, if you read it in 2 or 3 days, it's fast paced. If you read it slowly, it takes its own time, and you can like savor it. So as you go through this novel, no, you can see that there are multiple perspectives, like why the mathematician, the math scholar from Oxford University, why he's interested in this, and he's writing down everything. He puts down Georgetown, everything. He won't take back not a penny more from Metcalf and not a penny less. Whatever he lost, exact amount he's going to take it back. Okay. And then the doctor, he's also not very happy with his plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery sort of thing, because he's primarily making people who are already beautiful more beautiful, taking care of their vanity. That's the only thing he's doing, and doesn't actually give him any satisfaction. So he feels that this is very thrilling. And the French art dealer, he also finds it, what is this? Maybe he's also not really a honest guy. Some of his antique pieces are not that very good or not that antique. But he also finds this idea of getting back his money, the thrill he'll get. And life has gone very dull, boring, like his old antiques. So he also finds that josh, to get back his money. So as we read the novel, no, we get each of these characters' perspective. And the last one, the suspense, the square. He's very handsome, beautiful, young guy, but he has lost all his property. So he has nothing, no idea, how to get back his money. So all the other three are gone with some plans, and the way they plan it and how they execute it, uh, and how Metcalf doesn't realize that he has been taken for a ride, and justice has been done. He doesn't realize that, and that is the most interesting thing. Okay, so the square, he's the most intriguing one. What he does, I don't want to give a spoiler here. Please read the novel, and you'll find it like really, that's most interesting thing. So my takeaway and the learning with me is that the kind of thing which the writer has written here, most of us do it in our life. If we get cheated, we complain, we crib, we cry, and we try to get it back. Mm? We try to get our justice, we try to take our revenge, and we try to set things right. That is in our human nature. And that is the most beautiful thing, in a very beautiful way the writer has given. And it is about determination and being united. And when each of these character executes the plan, the kind of trepidations, the fear, the uncertainty which they have, the way the writer has written it, you feel that you're actually watching a movie. He has written it in such a way you find the images coming right in front of your eyes. And you also feel, if we also get cheated in this way, even if we are duped in this way, we should also do something so fantastic. Mm. So they go, and as we execute a plan, there are going to be hurdles, last minute twists and turns, and the way the writer comes up with those ideas, that is the most fascinating thing. And I don't want to give a spoiler here. I hope I'm making you inquisitive enough to read the novel. It's like, some of it, no, some of the incidents, some of the dialogues, no, everyone will find themselves there in that situation. Okay. And to this day, there is lot of appreciation for this novel, and the kind of twists and turns he has given, and how he engages us, and how it's a compulsive page turner. Hmm? So that is what makes Archer, master storyteller. Like some of you might have read Dan Brown. Dan Brown's style is he starts with something, he takes you to the zenith, and then you fall at the bottom. He takes you to the top and then you fall at the bottom. I don't know. I find Dan Brown's writings to be that way. But Jeffrey Archer, on the other hand, he takes you to the highest level, and you enjoy the view from there, the beautiful view which you get about mankind, about humanity, about the human mentality, and the various perspectives you get. No, that is very interesting. There is an immorality, something little unethical in all of us. As long as it doesn't affect anyone in a negative way, no, in a way, I think he says it's okay. You go ahead and do it, as long there is justice in what you're doing. Okay. And um, you can't actually tell, where it's the story is going to end, how, in which direction it's going. There's so many twists and turns, and that is the the originality, the ingenuity you find in him, in his writings, and it's so very entertaining. It totally entertaining, and you also find some valuable life lessons like don't give up, be determined, perseverance, persistence, and like our landlord, who feels he has no ideas, he's not as talented as the other three people. It's not really like that. Everyone has one card up their sleeve, and they can come up with the biggest plan, the best plan. Okay, so it is about, everyone has some talent, something to uh, keep themselves engaged with life and with their dreams, and how you can take that right to reach your destination. So that is what it is. And here I got some images of some of his novels. These are old ones, and if I have the time, I would like to tell one more story, one of his stories, uh, a couple of his stories actually, um,
Please,
from his
please,
anthologies.
lovely to share here. After a long time, we are hearing some fiction. Uh,
Yeah. I'm more of a
so
fiction
much of
person.
सेल्फ हेल्प बुक ऑलरेडी देयर और उसमें भी
Yeah.
आपने उसको समराइज एंड में तो कर ही दिया है कि व्हाट आर द की टेकअवेज so it's
Yeah.
wonderful listening you please carry on if Vasudev sir allows yeah
Yeah. Though chota chota story hai. If anyone is interested, I would like to narrate those two stories. Vasudev ji, are you there? Can I go ahead? Or have I
Yeah, has
exceeded
the
my time?
presentation, if it has done, then you can go ahead with the story.
Yeah. So one of the prison stories, we have some CAs here, people who are good with maths and all. So one of the stories I'll tell you. When Jeffrey Archer, I think he didn't pay his taxes or something. That's why he had to take a prison term. And in that prison term, he meets one of his fellow prisoner, and he has been a famous restaurateur. So he asks, they have this conversation, they talk, and they come discuss what happened. So the restaurateur says, yeah, I have this beautiful restaurant, and it's very famous. It is well sought after and everything. But I was not paying my taxes. So then how did you get caught? So he narrates the story. So now my restaurant, I was not paying the taxes according to my earnings. So what happened is, these people, the revenue department, the tax department people, were after me. So they used to watch me. They went through my books and they couldn't find anything. They couldn't find one flaw, but they knew that I'm hiding something. So what I did was, every day we used to change the tablecloth. Whenever the people have a meal, the guests who come there and have the meal, so we change the tablecloth. So that is where I could hide all my money. So the trick was, he gave washing machines to all his people who are working in the restaurant, the servers, the chef, anyone, whoever was working in the hotel, in the restaurant. He was giving them washing machine. The only thing was, they had to take some of these tablecloth and wash it and bring it back. Hmm. So what the revenue department was doing is, they were counting the tablecloth, how many were used and how many was brought back, hmm, by the laundry person, not by the staff, by the laundry people. So all that was tallying. So our restaurateur, what he has done is, he is not giving to the regular laundry guy, he was giving it to his staff, and they were washing it and bringing it back. So the count, that is how he could overcome that, not paying the taxes. That is how these people were making money. I don't know if I narrated it in the right way, but that is the thing, how you can break the tax thing. And there's one more story. This is from a different collection. quiver full of arrows, I think. So there is this. We are in weekend, right? At Saturday ho gaya. So there is this girl somewhere in New York, and she has had her divorce from her husband, and she's leading that vacuumed life right now. So one of her friends, calls her to her home, somewhere in the village, in the outskirts. She has a farmhouse. So our protagonist decides that, yeah, another lonely weekend. What should I do? Let me visit my friend. She has been calling me for ages. It'll be a good time to spend some time with her in her farm. So she packs her bags and gets into her car, and she starts driving to her friend's farmhouse. And on the road, suddenly she has to stop her vehicle because an animal, a deer or something, is crossing the road, and she doesn't want to kill it. So she gets down and she rescues that fawn, that deer. And then she feels very sad, how this fawn have killed it, and my life is like this, and I have done this. And she's feeling very sad, very depressed, and she's just driving, and suddenly on the side someone tries to take over, and that person is driving parallel to her and making lot of gestures and shouting and sounding very excited. Now she can't understand, in the western countries the roads are much better than us, so they can actually drive very fast, like 100 kilometers or something. So they don't stop usually on a highway. Okay. So she feels that this guy is crazy. Why is he racing with me and making those gestures and making those animated something and all he's telling? I don't know what's happening. I'm getting so scared. Let me drive faster. And she drives faster, and that fellow races and he catches up with her. She doesn't understand. Then she makes a call to her friend and she says that I'm in trouble. There is this mad fellow. He's following me and making some gestures, shouting at me. I don't know what to do. Then she says, don't worry, you just come to my place. We'll be ready for you. And I'll keep my gates open for you. And you just come in. So she races, and fortunately, the gates are open, and she enters the farmhouse, and her friend and her husband are out in the of their farmhouse, and they're ready with the guns and various people to help her. And as all this is happening, that fellow also is driving alongside, and both the cars have entered the farmhouse. And her friend, our protagonist, she jumps out of the car and she says, help, help, this mad fellow is after me, what to do? And the other car also stops, and he says, good thing you have stopped. You didn't notice the killer behind you. So and that is the climax, that is the twist in the tale. So what had happened was actually, this there was one psychopathic serial killer. When she had stopped her car in the middle of the road to rescue that fawn, that the psychopathic killer had entered her car and sat on the back seat, and he had a knife to kill her. And because of the other guy coming in this car, he was actually rescuing her, helping her, trying to alert her to that criminal sitting right behind her. So because of that racing of the car, and he trying to help her, he couldn't attack her. The psychopathic killer could not attack or cause any harm to our protagonist. And that is where the story ends. I think it's a real story. So many of Jeffrey Archer's stories, no, they have a realism in it, and a suspense and a twist and a turn. Some are short stories, some are long stories. But he's a wonderful writer. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. After a long time, I could talk about these people. I haven't read any of these books recently. Maybe decades back, I read it. So I thought if no one is presenting today, I can go ahead and talk about him. Thank you. So that's my presentation for the day.
Thank you. Wonderful. Great to see the presentation. Jeffrey Archer is one of my favorites. The latest one I read was about the black whales and how the
He's,
family goes on that. Yes.
Recently, I
Of
haven't
course.
read anything, but long time back I read all this. Life is
Okay.
too busy. Um, yeah, so it's already 9:36 now. If I know I could have done better, I realize I've not been very structured in my narrative. I was too excited and a little tired also. Had a very hectic week. In fact, a hectic last few months. So, anyone wants to share anything?
Uh,
Pallavi has shared. If you have any other things, I'll share these books with you. Some of the ones which I have, I'll share it with you. Rekha, Rajesh, Pinaki ji.
Okay, let me break the ice. You know, Archer was bankrupt, and he became bankrupt in 1974. So he was born 1940, and he became bankrupt at 1974. That was almost 34 years, when he was 34 years young. And then he revived his fortune as a novelist. And the book that Deepa you just shared, this was his first book. Imagine, he revived his fortune as a novelist by writing this first book, which came in 1976, followed by Shall We Tell the President in 1977, followed by Cain and Abel in 1979, which eventually became his greatest bestseller. It sold 34 million copies
Wow.
worldwide. And overall, his books have sold more than 320 million copies worldwide till date. And today he's 84. So for him, it's a journey of 50 years, 5 decades. So he's writing books over 5 decades. And if you notice carefully, almost every year he wrote a book. Almost every year he wrote a novel. And he's writing a novel even now at age of 60, at the age of 84. So what I'm highlighting is just see what's possible. See, if he can write so many books, the kind of work that you are doing, Deepa, right now, as you are sharing his creations, it's simply amazing. You know, like don't treat yourself as a person who is I would say, who is inflicting herself with imposter syndrome. You are doing a phenomenal job. See, whatever other things that you have said about you, did I do the justice? Did I do this? Did I do that? I am busy with so many things. If you hadn't said all these things, it really doesn't matter. In fact, they don't matter. What matters is what is showing up. And you have done a wonderful justice to whatever time you got to share about this book, to share about Jeffrey Archer. And if he's a good story writer, you are not less than a good storyteller. You take it from me.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's all I have to share with you.
Actually, I wanted to tell two more things. At the end of the novel book, no, Jeffrey Archer says that whatever companies Metcalf had floated, which were not real, actually they exist. I just recalled that. And why I recall this was recently I also came to know that Harshad Mehta, the companies which he had floated and the fake company, they also actually exist. And there is a value for those shares today. I read about it. I don't know. Some archives or someone told me about this, and I verified it. So I was quite interested, fascinated. Like, yeah. So are the people who are tricking us, duping us, are they really doing that? Got this thing. It made me think.
Quite likely. See, when these things are coming up as stories, there must be some link to them in reality. These are not just stories. There is definitely some link, maybe some event which happened, which may not have magnified that much the way these stories were written, but they had all the possibilities of
Hmm.
getting magnified. So
Yeah.
what authors like Jeffrey Archer or Michael Crichton they write is all about what would have been possible if it had been continued like this.
Hmm.
So their masterpiece of creating crime and then writing about it in a way such that you also feel like if it had been like that, it would have been a reality anyway.
Hmm.
That is their writing style. That
Yeah.
is what they do. Matlab, you will also feel that if you had been in that position, probably you could have also managed to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that is what is for today. Um,
Thank you,
Okay.
Deepa, for sharing your thrilling and interesting stories. All three story I love to hear. जैसे पिनाकी सर ने कहा, you are wonderful storyteller. जिस तरह से आपने starting में शुरू किया with video and everything was so beautifully said and narrated, and it was seeming like that movie is going on. वासुदेव सर जब
thank you.
बताते तो आखिरी में वो सस्पेंस रख देते कि आगे की कहानी पढ़ने से पता चलेगा, जब वो फिक्शन स्टोरीज बताते हैं. लेकिन
His anthologies, वो भी बहुत अच्छा है, शॉर्ट स्टोरीज ना.
या
एकदम ऐसे गाड़ी में जा रहे हैं, हो जाएगा एक स्टोरी. आजकल तो ट्रैफिक बहुत बढ़ गया ना, 1 hour it takes. So some are very beautiful stories. I'll try to share some more. Thank you. So
looking for one more stories from you.
yeah, sure.
Okay, so that was a great presentation. Let me give my feedback as the team
Yeah.
judge today. So yeah, the things were driven well and the presentation has come out well. You have added definitely a lot of things have been done. As you are doing the presentation, just like Pinaki said, you need not tell what is going inside your mind because what is shown up is what is visible to the world. So what you are having that actually it will not add any value to you or to the person listening. It will not make you, it may not add empathy or anything to you, to anyone in a real
Mm.
sense of the way.
Mm.
Okay. Here we definitely we have understood that you are busy schedule, hectic day and all that.
Mm. Thank you, Rekha ji. I have one more very interesting thing to share. Today was my students' assessment day. My entire day went in assessing my students' PPT presentations on various topics. And I did mine. I think my students were far better than me. Anyway, thank you all for giving
मेरे
me
ख्याल
this
से
opportunity.
वासुदेव सर कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे, कोई कॉल आ गया होगा इसलिए इट्स कंप्लीट.
Yeah, wait करेंगे और 5 मिनट.
लेट्स वेट फॉर 2 minutes more.
Yeah, डिनर हो गया सबका.
अभी
मैम
तो
आपके सुंदर
आपसे सुनकर मैं दिमाग का डिनर खत्म कर रहा हूँ. मेरा दिमाग का डिनर चल रहा है.
ये सीए लोगों का काउंसिल इलेक्शन हो रहा है ना. सो माय
Yeah.
हस्बैंड एंड मेनी ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स आर ऑल प्रीऑक्यूपाइड, तो सब थोड़ा डिले हो रहा है 1-2 दिन से.
मैम आज 14 तो 8 बजे तक थी.
बट आफ्टर दैट यू पीपल डू समथिंग एंड ऑल, नो, लाइक पार्टी होता है, जो भी होता है.
हम यहाँ पे लखनऊ में भी बहुत जोश हो रहा है. अब की बार लखनऊ से भी 2 कैंडिडेट खड़े हुए हैं ना.
Acha,
Hmm.
nice.
Even I was busy 2 days with
I
that.
have campaigned for Rajkumar, sir.
Okay, wow,
Because
that's
of him only, I am in this group. Thanks to him. So I
हैदराबाद की
have
आपकी
a
वो
lot
भी
of
तो बहुत
gratitude
अच्छी
for
है,
him.
श्रीप्रिया मैम.
ओके, वो लोग मेरे को मालूम नहीं है।
Yeah,
मेरे
but
को
yeah,
आई एम
Hyderabad.
बीइंग अ नॉन सीए नो
Hats off
सो
to Rajkumar Adukia. So even I am in this group because of Shivani Adukia sir only.
पिनाकी से पहले मिले थे वो ग्रुप में एंड थ्रू हिम आई गॉट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड टू अदर पीपल सो फीलिंग वेरी एनरिच्ड
वासुदेव के दोनों तो अनम्यूट दिखा रहे हैं, पता नहीं.
या मेरा वो कंप्यूटर काम नहीं करता, मेरे को एक टेलीफोन कॉल आया था ऑफिस का, 10 o'clock मेरा शिफ्ट चेंज ओवर है. Okay, so that's why I wanted to speak earlier so that I could take that call. But Deepa was very high in flow, so she was not giving opportunity to talk. So good presentation, and you can cut off that whatever is there in your mind. May not express everything here. Maybe at the after the presentation and discussion is over, then you can express it out as friend. But that is okay. Like it is we are still in an informal way, so it's fine. Now coming to the Jeffrey Archer's thing, the story that I liked best was the one which where the uh, protagonist, the girl or the lady, is stuck in that what you call twin towers incident of 11th September, and she gets hit by that, and then she's robbed by the people. Then she goes to Japan, and they steal that story. So that, and every day